What's up, everyone? Michael Heath with Get Automating. You ever see that movie 1988, License to Drive? Had the Coreys in it, Heather Graham, a number of different other people, big names. There's a scene in there, the coffee scene. Corey Haim's character has to pass his driving test. The instructor has a cup of coffee on the dashboard, and if he makes it through his drive without the cup of coffee spilling, he aces his test. I'm not going to tell you what happens. Are any of your days ever like that? Just driving around, wondering if that cup of coffee's going to spill?
Get automating, enhancing humans daily.
All right, so then it reminded me that strategy around keeping the coffee on the dashboard on the driver's license test, that's a lot like Power BI licensing. How is it managed? What's it going to cost? What's the value? What are the features set, right? There's a lot of things to consider. So let's take a look, right? Power BI free. What's important to know about this is this particular license is there for personal use only. That is, I can go into Power BI desktop, create my report, and publish those to my personal workspace. But if I want anybody to consume those, they're going to need at least a pro license. So that brings us to the Power BI licensing right next to it here, Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium per user. So what's the difference here? One, you can purchase Power BI Pro a la carte, right, on its own as a standalone license. It's also included in E5. If we come down here, we can see that, oh, well, look, Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium, got a nice little feature matrix here, right? So if we scroll down here, I want to highlight a few things. That the Pro license is limited to 1 gigabyte. If your model size limit is over a gigabyte, then you're going to move to premium. If your refresh rate for Power BI, and I'm talking refresh rate in the scheduler, in the service, needs to be over 8 times a day for that particular model, then you're going to go to premium. There's some other features here using Azure Cognitive Services, advanced data flows, data marts, those sorts of things. Those are also going to drive you over there. But here's the kicker. Not only does the developer or publisher need to have a premium license, anybody who consumes that, your report is going to live in what's called a premium per user workspace. Anybody that wants access to that, also going to need a premium license. So premium users can view premium and pro content, but pro users can only view pro content. Now, before we hop into Fabric, there is one other method of licensing out Power BI, and that's called Power BI Embed. So if we look at the EM SPU specifically, this is designed to embed in your app, embed in Teams, SharePoint, PowerPoint. This is not designed to use the full software as a service known as Power BI. So it's for a specific use case to embed those reports for consumption. All right, so let's talk Microsoft Fabric, wrap our heads around the continuum of what is Power BI to Fabric. So imagine Power BI as this delicious birthday cake. Made with the raw ingredients, you're pumping it through. You can eat it, but not exactly the most edible. Now you have Microsoft Fabric. It's like the kitchen, right? Where all the magic happens. You're refining these ingredients, making them a little more edible, right? It's the place where you mix, bake, and also decorate that cake. So in a nutshell, Fabric's really designed to be this one-stop shop. You're having all these tools put underneath one SKU, known as the F SKU. And so you have Data Factory, your data warehouse, your data engineering, data science, Power BI, all wrapped up underneath one SKU, bringing those various tools together in a cohesive fashion, hence the term Fabric. Microsoft Fabric comes in a couple different flavors here. Fabric Capacity as a reservation and Fabric Capacity as a pay-as-you-go. So let's talk about this SKU a little more. It comes with all the premium features. That's important. But take a look here. Only F SKUs equivalent to an F64 or higher allow for free Power BI users to consume Power BI. Now notice I stepped over the P SKU there. That's deprecated. That's gone. But that F64 sits right there. Has 8 cores. And again, the importance there is that this is the starting SKU, F64 and above, that will blanket your organization internally and externally for consumption. Now, the only thing after that that's required at a per user level is going to be a pro license. That is for your publishers only. All right, so when do you make the move
from Power BI per user to Fabric. For those of you that are on Power BI premium capacity today, you'll need to switch over from the P SKU to the F SKU when your current subscription expires. If you're on a per user licensing, consider Fabric for better performance. First, optimize your data models. Make sure you feel really comfortable with your data estate and how it's been constructed. Make sure you have great governance because that's what drives success. But if you're experiencing performance issues, you may need to make that hop. Maybe you want to explore Fabric features like Copilot in Fabric. You'll need at least an F64. Maybe you want those Fabric features, right? Maybe you're ready to take the leap into the world of Fabric and start to build out a robust data practice. And cost-wise, if you're spending more on per-user licenses than a reserved instance would cost, maybe you should consider Fabric. And then those of you, could be just curious about Fabric, well, you could start out small. You could start out with a free trial or a lighter SKU, like an App 8 even, to test the waters.
Right, so sometimes we get in a rut. Why are we focused on the cost of the shovel when we're digging for buried treasure, right? But it's important. Let's avoid the coffee situation. Understand licensing. Come up with a good governance plan in terms of Power BI and Fabric. That will drive the right value and the right licensing. Until next time.